Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, just found out my JNMIL has been using pics of my daughter to sell stuff online. MIL fed the bears. MIL wants to reconcile after being a terror for 8 months. Advice? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Just found out my JNMIL has been using pics of my daughter to sell stuff online. I am livid. One of our rules from even before our daughter was born was absolutely no pics of her online. We want her to have digital privacy. We told everyone, feel free to email or text pics to your friends, but do not post them on social media or publicly. JustNoMil was the only person who really objected to this. She has mentioned it begrudgingly several times over the years, like, even though I've respected your wishes about not posting pics of DD online, my friend XYZ is allowed to post pics of her grandchildren, blah blah. So she definitely knows the rules and lied about following them. I'm not on the book of faces, so I didn't know this was happening, but my stepmother-in-law, JustNoMil, sells digital scrapbooking art via FB. I saw she posted a collage of pics of her art on IG referencing recent family drama and a selfie of her flipping us off. So that prompted me to look at her whole digital store for the first time. She is using my DD's pictures and her real name to sell her art. Some of those pictures were ones that I took too, not that that matters since the rule is the rule. But she is certainly well aware of the rules and did this anyway. This is infuriating. How do I call my husband's attention to this? I guess I'll have to admit I was looking at her online store, which I've never looked at before. But I guess it's better to be honest with him. I had a bad feeling based on the art she was selling referencing Fighting With Us that she posted to her IG. Edit, JustNoMil also posted a bunch of tutorials for her business with my daughter's image on her business's YouTube channel. This is so upsetting. Did you try reporting the photos on Instagram? Let them know that they're using your child's photo without permission, and since she's a minor, they don't want that kind of pressure. Good luck. Ooh, good call. Thanks. Your second paragraph explains perfectly why you looked and what you found. Use it as your guide and show him what's posted. I'd give her one chance to take it all down by X-min/hours/days. If she doesn't, contact the social media apps and report pictures of her using your LO's pictures and name without your permission. Also see if you can contact the online vendor of her site to have those pictures and references removed as well. That flipping the bird selfie, stay classy, lady. Or, at the very least, professional. Why would it matter that you looked at her online store? She has a store. I'm assuming she wants foot traffic. I don't see it as something to admit to. She very publicly posted a big foo to your boundaries. I'd say she wants to get caught. Very good question. I'm wondering the same. Is OP going to be accused of snooping? The online store invites foot traffic as you said. Is her so going to accuse her of snooping? I wonder if that's why she's concerned. In the grand scheme of the problems happening, maybe this just one more thing she will have to deal with. What a vile woman. The JustNoMil. I feel bad for OP in this family and I hope her so backs her up. Agreed. It's an online store. It isn't odd that OP looked at it. Husband, someone called my attention to this art of your mother's. It's completely unacceptable. It shouldn't matter how you found out, you didn't do anything wrong. No, you're right. I didn't. I guess it feels like snooping, but everyone knows she has this digital scrapbooking business. She talks about it all the time. It's a publicly available website. And she's sitting there using our DD's images for profit without our permission. The gall. Oh my. This is so wrong on so many levels. If an internet stranger can get angry on your behalf at the stupidity of your MIL, why would your husband be cool with what she did? No way he can excuse her behavior and not be on board with you reporting her site to the respective online authority. First, you're the parents and didn't consent for your child to be posted online. Second, her content isn't even original, you provided some of her art when you sent her photos of your little one. So report her without delay. And don't block her. She will be expecting that. Instead, keep following her page. And what if you are stalking her online? Isn't your child's safety above it? She wanted family drama. Give it to her straight. Also, what's with the flipping? Rude. She is a truly disgusting person. Wow. So MIL is not only posting pics without permission, but also profiting from them. This would be enough for me to cut contact with her for the next decade, but I get how that could be a hard sell to your husband. I'd go into this by showing him what you found, and explain how you found just as you did in the post. Let him come to his conclusions, and go from there. So sorry this happened to you and your daughter, she deserves better than to be used as a prop by grandma. Okay. She does not have a signed model release, so yeah, she can't use the pictures. I would suggest your husband send her one note. You know we do not allow pictures of our child online. You've complained about it, so we know you know. That you have been using pictures of our child to sell things online without our knowledge or permission is unacceptable. You have until Saturday to remove everything from your Facebook and YouTube accounts, or I am filing DMCA complaints, which will get the images removed and possibly shut down your accounts. I am being nice, since you make money with the scrapbook thing, and giving you a chance to do the right thing. I will need you to log onto your accounts and go through them with me to confirm all photos are removed. If you don't, then I will get a lawyer involved. If you want a relationship with my child in any way after this point, your first words need to be, "I'm sorry," to me, followed by a genuine apology. You broke our trust, and your next actions will determine if you break your relationship with my family completely. MIL fed the bears. Yes, literally y'all, she takes all her food scraps and throws them in her yard just about 20 yards from the house. She lives in the mountains and does indeed have mountain lions, bears, elk, and deer. It's against the law because they habituate to the food and then will try to find more and are also less afraid of humans. And she literally says she is feeding the bears. And the last time we visited, 1 week ago, we watched a standoff between a black bear and elk as we were driving down her 0.5-mile driveway. Part of me wants to report her. The other part, nice one, wants to send her a link to the law in this state. Report her. She's creating nuisance bears that will have to be put down because she's stupid and making bears associate people with food. She's going to get a neighbor or a hiker killed. And, eventually, she'll get the bears killed, too. Report her. She is endangering the lives of the wild animals, especially the bears. When they become desensitized to humans, they are euthanized. Not fair to the bears. Report her before someone else gets hurt because of what she's done. Report her, she's putting other neighbors in danger by her reckless feeding the bears. She's also putting the bears in danger. As they start viewing people as a source of food, the chances that they will have to be shot rise. My aunt reported that back in the 60s or 70s one of the national parks had signs reading, "The hand that throws the Oreo pulls the trigger." As someone who grew up in bear country, seriously report her. She will or is creating bears who become dangerous and have to be euthanized. Report her. A fed bear is a dead bear. Report her. You might save the lives of bears and humans. I'm from the UK. Our wildlife, apart from the seagulls, usually don't try to kill us. Seriously, Google it, they're psychotic, and even I know that this is insane. Report her for her own safety. I feed squirrels and the local fox and am a bit loopy about animals, but I wouldn't feed a bear. That's taking it a bit far. Edit. Or the bear could solve all your problems for you. She's putting herself, the bears, and anyone in the area in danger. Report her. Here's the story of a woman in Colorado who was killed by the black bears she fed. A death from a bear becoming food conditioned. JNMIL wants to reconcile after being a terror for 8 months. Advice? To preface, JNMIL never really showed she hated me, but I always had an inkling, so I tried to please her by dedicating a lot of my time to her family. For example, she has a 4-year-old son and I had been taking care of him every day since he was born, up until recently. I didn't see much of my family because I made hers a priority. She is also very controlling, but for some reason I didn't realize it was a red flag at the time. My husband and BF at the time would go out to parties/events on weekends, but 2 to 3 hours into an event she would call us in a crisis that she needs help watching her baby and her dog. She has a husband. We always end up rushing to her home and everyone is sleeping. She just wanted us to be at her home. I had no idea it would be to this extent. She's been a bully for the past 8 months because my husband and I got into an argument when we were drunk. He vented to his cousin while it was happening and the cousin said I could have gotten him in jail or in the hospital. I just want to emphasize that neither of us were harmed. It was a stupid fight really about him being dismissive, but he has anger issues, so he was very angry while we were in a parked car. The next day, we both apologized to each other and resolved it with no issues. Later this cousin had told my husband's mother and she has been so hell-bent on splitting us up. She gave him an ultimatum. As long as you are with her, do not talk to me. Every week she would call him and accuse me of nasty things. Things like, she is taking you away from me, and JNMIL gave an example of when my husband and I both split our times with our families on Thanksgiving, that I have no audacity to take him with me on a special day. But we split our time to be fair. She also called me an alcoholic for drinking in public, referring to the fight I mentioned earlier, public equals at our friend's house, when she literally drinks too. She also attempted to reel in his biological dad to break us up, and mind you, she always said she hated him, so she really went out of her way to talk to him. Of course he did not agree with her behavior. She emailed a clip of the Johnny and Amber Heard trial and accused me of having personality disorder and that I will tear him down like Amber Heard. It was week after week and I learned to ignore it, but let my husband hash it out. Recently, his entire family had planned a trip to MX and I was welcome to come. She was upset that he decided to not go because of financial issues. So she accused me of talking in his ear to not join them. Following that, I missed her call while I was cooking with my husband and she blew up my husband's phone saying I was blatantly ignoring her. She demanded I talk to her at that instance to reconcile, because she is so tired of the drama, and I told my husband I am not ready to listen to her disrespect me or even know if I am emotionally ready to have that convo. She started crying, so I was like fine. Lo and behold, all she did was berate me. She said, I didn't wake up one day and be like I hate you, I don't like how you like to sleep in on weekends, because of that I think you're unmotivated and unfit for my son. And then she brought up the fight. I apologized for causing her worry, but I told her she cannot treat me poorly because of what ifs. She also denied giving her son an ultimatum and insists it's a rumor. Then demands I come back to the family picture, give her calls to report on my relationship and how I am doing better for myself, because her son stopped sharing with her, and gave me an ultimatum at the end. She said, why do you get to protect your peace and leave the picture but I can't? If you don't comply, I have to leave my son's life. I told her that's an ultimatum, but still denied it. She blames me for her and her son's rift, but she verbally abuses him, calling him a b****** and a coward in every phone call for not leaving me. Also, she never wanted to reconcile until this MX trip. I had tried before. After her justifying her hurtful words and a bunch of how dare yous, she said, "Wheel, I didn't mean it." After that phone call, I blocked her, but she reflected and apologized to her son. But now, my husband is guilting me to make amends now that she is remorseful. I want to stay away from people like that, but now my husband is upset that we will never sit at the same table. Should I give a second chance? Especially if want to start our own family soon. She wants to reconcile. Great. In what ways is she going to change her behavior in order to facilitate that? That's the question I ask if someone who has harmed me claims they want to have a relationship. And you know what? Most of the time there is no answer. They don't intend to change. They intend to continue just as they were and expect you to change. That's exactly what I was thinking and trying to tell my so. Ugh, but I am also a forgiving person, so I have been back and forth thinking she may change. I feel like in this case it's a give an inch and they will take a mile situation. Your mother's behavior has caused this. You don't get to demand that the victim do as you want. Just because your mother whistles doesn't mean either of us have to go running. If you want to, that's your choice, but I'm not. I will take as much time as I need to heal from her abuse. Your DH is not allowed to force you to accept abuse just to make his life easier. If his mother was actually remorseful, she would put an end to her bad behavior, not justify it and continue immediately after apologizing. If he wants to put up with her abuse, he can. You are not required to. I 100% agree. This is so true. You need no contact with the MIL, probably a divorce, and therapy for why you were such an exploited doormat for so long. Like seriously, why do you keep doing her favors, hearing her out, apologizing to her? Why are you okay with your shitty husband manipulating you with guilt? Second chance. It's like the 100th. Fa. What the hell? Why would you want to purposely invite verbal abuse into your life? Your husband grew up with her abusive behavior, so he may think it's normal. It's not, and a calm, peaceful home and life is a wonderful goal. You are right to not want JNMIL in your life. But your husband is in the fog and just trying to keep his mother happy. Please get marriage counseling to communicate and set goals for your family of two before you try to get pregnant. Discuss JNMIL in counseling also, and how to handle her and set/enforce boundaries. These issues won't go away just because you're pregnant, they actually usually get worse. So better to deal with this now. Your husband probably needs individual counseling or therapy also. The anger issue can become a big problem if it's ignored. It's very scary for children to have a father who gets angry and mad, screaming etc. Even if he's not yelling at them, it's still very frightening. I know from experience. Wish you the best. She's remorseful to him and spiteful to you. I would only speak to her again if I recorded her. The plus of recording her without her knowing, she'll hold nothing back, so you can play it and show what her remorse looks like in practice. If you record with her knowledge, she'll probably act better since she'll know will be hearing her exact words. In either case, try to get the recording to immediately stream to the cloud so it is not isolated on one device that can be stolen or broken. I would definitely not have a kid with your unless he starts to have your back when his mother gets stroppy. I'm definitely going to record her if there is a next time. Apologies are overrated around here. A true JN is not capable of a sincere apology. They see an apology as a ticket to get what they want and to continue their abuse. They are not remorseful except about being caught, called out, or cut off. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.